Hey, let me turn this on real quick. There we go. All right, looks a lot better. Hey, this is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Let me put that forward a little bit. All right, there we go. Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. I've got a story for you because it helps you understand when a woman says, okay, sorry. Again, write this down. I mean, write it down. What a woman says and what a woman does are two completely different things. All right? How many times has a woman said something to you and then went and done the opposite? And a lot of times women will say to you, she'll say, God, how does she say this? It's basically your action. No, she'll say actions speak louder than the words. Who do you think she's talking to? And what I mean is, what she's saying is, a lot of guys think, oh, okay, well then my actions got to be, better, right? Or I've got to do what I'm saying I'm going to do, which is a good thing, by the way. She's actually talking, she's indirectly, because see, women are indirect. You think that she's talking about you, but she's really indirectly talking about her. She's saying you, A, but she really means her, B. Here's what I mean. When a woman says something and then she goes and does the opposite, that's what you got to pay attention to. If you listen to what she says and put value on that, you're missing it, man. That's the whole thing when a woman says A, but she really means B. If you pay attention to this and not this, you don't understand women at all. All right? Because that is literally the way the female brain is designed and wired. And that I will make very clear in my course. It takes time to walk you through it, but once you get to the end of that tunnel, you walk out into the light, and it's like literally you can see the light. Okay. Remember in the video, this is a series of videos. This is the fourth, I believe, it's the fourth video, where my niece, she's an independent woman, and she's always, don't do this, don't do that. I'm on my own. And the minute that creepy man grabbed her and started leading her, she just melted. She was so happy. And on the way home, it was the parrot man who put a parrot on her, and we took pictures and gave him a little money for it. She goes, that just made my day. That made the whole day wonderful. Blah blah. And it's all and I'm laughing. And she goes, what's so funny? I go, you're always talking about how you don't like men to touch you, and you don't like this, and you don't like that. And one thing she said was key. And I said, well, what would have made your day more relaxed today? Because she was really uptight until we got to that. Now, I actually did not apply my teachings to my niece, as I didn't do to my goddaughter, because I have this different view. It's in my mind, a different category. She goes, and I put this in one of the videos, but it was basically, she said, if I would have decided to let go, no, she didn't, let go and let you lead, I would have been relaxed all day. And here's what she said about the old man. She said, when he grabbed me like that, she goes, I turned myself over to him, like let him, and then she goes, I just let him lead. And I was just blown away at that. I go, so I don't think that if you made that decision, you would have relaxed. I think if the minute you walked in the door and I would have led, I think that would have relaxed you. She goes, honestly, you're right. The thing she said after that was very key. She goes, it's so funny, but I'm always saying the opposite. Like, I don't want a man to do that. I go, that's what I was trying to help you understand a year ago. Your left brain will say A, but then your right brain will say the opposite, B. And it's the right brain that really is the power in your home. That's another subject. So let me tell you this true story about a friend of mine from childhood who called me up many years later about his wife. Now she kicked him out, etc. He calls me up one day and she goes, you're not going to believe this. Now, I had talked to him 2 years before and I was trying to teach him my course. He didn't want to hear it. Because back then I was like, oh God, because he's very linear. I was like, his marriage is almost over and he just doesn't know it. And he's like, he didn't want to hear it. He goes, I don't want to hear it. My marriage is great. I'm like, all right, man. And he called me up and you're not going to believe this. I go, let me guess. Chrissy just kicked you out of the house. He goes, how did you know? I'm like, I was trying to tell this to you 2 years ago. He goes, how could you possibly? I'm like, it was obvious because you're so fucking linear. It drives a woman nuts. She can't handle it. And she can't understand you. So here's one piece. So he would start calling me up every other week or so. You're not going to believe this. I cleaned the kitchen, spotless, did this, did that. And he actually quit his job and got another job at home, okay? Because she kept complaining once a week. It was only once a week for like 3 to 5 minutes. And eventually, after years of this, he quit his dream job, lost his pay all the way down to here, lost his rank and all this stuff, got a job closer to home, and she was miserable. And I go, do you understand? He goes, but she kept telling me she wanted me to quit my job. I'm like, no, man. She's saying that because she's trying to see if you're a man, if you can think for yourself. If you're letting her lead you, she's gonna get nervous and have anxiety and freak out because who's leading the family? You know, they had two children, or they have two children. And I kept trying to explain it, and he's, you don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. So he called me up again. You're not going to believe this. I cleaned the whole kitchen, spotless, did this, did that. And she came in and wiped her finger across the refrigerator and then underneath the cupboards, and she pulled out every glass, and he literally hand washed, hand dried every glass, every dish, every spoon, every knife, every fork, and the whole kitchen. I mean, literally like he was in boot camp. He goes, and she didn't find a thing. And then he goes, you're not going to believe it. She found one little speck on the floor in the corner, and she goes, Steve, you can't do anything right. I'm like, that's not what she really means. And he goes, what do you mean? I go, you have to look for the meaning. I know she's saying this, but you got to go, what's the communication behind the words? And he wasn't doing that. And he goes, but she's saying this. See, the male brain's direct, and this is all we hear and all we see and all we think, right? With a woman, many times, she's really meaning the opposite. I go, no, dude. What she's really saying is stop being a woman. Stop being, and I use the word bitch. Stop being submissive. Be the man. She's trying to kick you in the ass to be a man again. Because before that, he did what he wanted. He went where he wanted. He bought what he wanted. He never asked her permission for anything. And I go, well, how was your marriage back then? He goes, it was great. I'm like, okay, so let me understand this. So you did what you wanted. You did your job. It was far away. What was it like? He goes, well, I would come home, and the minute I opened the door, the kids would wrestle me and tackle me. I go, sounds good to me. He goes, and then she'd be sitting in the living room while we're wrestling around and bitching and complaining. I go, about what? You need to quit your job. You need to get a job close to home. I go, and then what? He goes, and then I'd walk in the kitchen and go, what's for dinner, honey? I go, I bet she would get up and run into the kitchen and wrap her arms around you and say, what do you want? He goes, that's exactly what she did. I go, sounds like she was pretty happy to me. So how often would she bitch and complain about you quitting your job and getting a job closer to home? And he goes, just for about 2 or 3 minutes. I go, how many times a day? He goes, oh, no, just once a week when I'd come home from work. I'm like, one time a week for 2 or 3 minutes? You couldn't handle that? I go, what's it been like since? He goes, no matter what I do, I clean the whole garage. I go, why did you do that? He goes, well, she's been asking me to clean the garage for years, just like the kitchen. So I figured I would do it to be nice. I go, how well did that work out for you? He goes, it didn't work out well at all. She got all pissed off. She found one piece of lint and blew up and goes, see, you can't do nothing right. I'm like, no, it's not about doing it right. It's not about cleaning the garage. She's telling you, stop following me. Stop being a woman. I need a man to lead this family. I've got 2 children to take care of. Is it an unconscious thing? Yeah. Women can be understood if you take my course. This is Mike Kollin, MikeKollin.com. See you soon.